Welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again today. Truly appreciate it. You know, if moving overseas was so easy, everybody would do it. But it's not easy. People see me and others living comfortably overseas and they think, oh, I can do it. Well, it's possible, but there's some things that I believe you must have and possess to do it successfully. So I just want to give you some tips. You know, I've been coming back and forth to the Philippines for almost 17 years. I've been here for almost 7 years in a row. And there's a lot of new people. I see a lot of mistakes people are making. And so let's get right into it. But first, yeah, I got that mouse out of the house. It was hiding in my shoe yesterday morning when I went outside, you know, to get my shoes. I usually keep my socks in my shoes so that the geckos can't get in there. So I don't know how that mouse got in there. But man, I put my foot in there and felt that thing wiggling around. Scared the hell out of me. So I threw my shoe up in the air. It came down and the mouse landed on the floor and ran under the bed. Well, see, here's the problem I got over here with these women. They think you don't know anything. I told Merle, I said, yeah, just go to the store, get those, you know, that mouse glue, and we'll put some cheddar cheese in the middle of it. We'll get it. Oh, that ain't gonna work, blah, this, blah, that. So she finally went and got the glue, but she didn't put the cheese. So nothing happened. He never came out. The minute I put that cheese in the middle of that trap, here he come. Just a little bitty thing. We got him out of there because she was panicking and couldn't sleep. She got mad at me. She thought that I had bought the damn mouse in there on a leash, you know, like it's a pet or something. I'm like, you saw what happened. But anyway, we got it out because it just scared the hell out of me, man. But yeah, let's talk about this stuff. You know, I was doing some research on this, and, you know, like, you know, instead of why do people fail, I was like, well, why do people succeed? What are they doing right? And the first thing was like pre-planning. See, a lot of us don't pre-plan. The most we get to the closest we get to pre-planning is like buying a ticket. You may you know, get an Airbnb or hotel, but that's about it. We don't do any research about the country, wherever you're going, the culture, and nothing. We don't know what documentation we need. Believe it or not, there's people who still ask me, do they need a visa to get into the Philippines? And just elementary stuff like that. Things that you should know before you think about coming on the other end of the planet, on the other side of the planet. And then, of course, you know, we don't, it's like I said, we don't have a plan at all. Now I'm going to show you this little house. I'm going to try and put anybody down, but I do it all the time when I walk past here. I want you to see where some of the people, somebody lives there. And I want you to see where some of the women that y'all deal with, that we deal with, they come from places like this. Now, I believe, I don't know who lives there now. But anyway, the first thing I'm going to say you're going to need, and if you don't have it when you initially get over here, you're eventually going to have it. But it's first. These are in order as I see it. Because people get the impression that money is the most important thing. It's not. Money's not the most important thing. Is it important? Yeah, but you got to have a plan for that money. You can't come over here and spend it like your money's never going to run out. But anyway, number one is health. I'm not going to get on a health kick. I'm just going to tell you that health is the number one thing you need. But health encompasses more than what you think, okay? It includes a doctor, diet, exercise, and a healthcare plan. That's health. That's the number one thing. If you don't have your health, don't come. Don't come anywhere. Don't leave until you get that together. Now remember, y'all grown men, I can't tell you what to do, but I'm just saying this is the mistakes I see people make. You got a doctor there, get a doctor here. Your diet. You can't continue to eat just anything you want to eat and think you're going to remain healthy. Exercise, man, do something. How you doing? My Bunta. Well, your son looks just like you. Y'all look like twins. I mean, walk, ride a bike. Hell, have sex. That's exercise. And get you a healthcare plan.
Ben, you ready?
No, I'm walking. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about health. But anyway, the second thing here is a financial plan. Finances is what I got. And I put on here a budget. But your budget should include just two things that you should be focused on with your budget. Number one is your needs. You know, your rent, your food, your utilities, transportation, immigration, and your savings. Your savings. That's for emergencies, just so you can have some extra money. What I see people do, we spend much more, a higher percentage on our wants than anything else when we get over here. Yeah, money's important, but you don't have never-ending money. Your money's going to run out if you don't have a plan for it. And you're going to go broke. And you're going to be stuck back at home. I know what I'm talking about, man. I've been doing this thing. It's not like, you know, I'm not walking the walk. I'm walking the damn walk. But it's more like the messenger. It's because it's me, people don't want to listen. Well, don't listen. Okay, the third thing that you're going to need, you know, in this survival guide for living overseas, I don't care where you live. DR, Colombia, Brazil, Philippines, Thailand, doesn't matter, Mexico. You need some courage, ladies and gentlemen. You know, what is courage? I'm going to give you the dictionary definition. It says the ability to confront fear, pain, or adversity. All of which you're going to encounter in your life abroad. Then they talk about what types of courage. Physical courage, you know, challenges. You know, but courage, emotional courage, you know. Then they said moral courage, but, you know, when you talk about physical courage, you know, it's just like, like danger. You need courage, man. That's the reason why a lot of people do not move overseas. Or they don't. Hey, my good. They don't change. They're afraid. They're afraid to get on a plane. They've never gotten on a plane and flown in 12 hours, 15 hours, and all that. So you got to have courage. And, you know, courage will eventually breed confidence. You know, courage is not the absence of fear. What I've learned in my life is, despite the fear, you do it anyway. But courage is the big thing, and it's third on my list. Fourth on my list is a compelling reason to be here, to live overseas. Well, what do you mean by that, Cal? Well, you know, each person's reasons, you know, and motivations are going to vary. You know, they're going to be different, but it should be strong enough, interesting enough, or what's the other word, convincing enough to persuade you to take action. And some people's compelling reasons, like I said, whatever it is, it could be a woman, could be the lifestyle. Whatever it is, it has to be compelling. okay, to make you get on that damn plane, to make you stay put over here. There has to be a compelling reason for you to just get on a plane and fly on the other side of the planet. But we're not doing it. We're just getting on there because we see somebody else doing it. Or it's not a good enough reason. You know, and that's number 4. Number 5, as I see it, is support. Our support group. That's very, very important. It's almost like having an orientation once you arrive here. See, you got your health together. You got your financial plan. You got on the plane. You exhibited the courage. You're here now. You know why you're here. You're excited. But now what? You don't know where to live. You don't know what places to avoid. You don't know where the grocery store is. You don't know any of that. You need a support group. You need somebody to talk to. Somebody that speaks your language. Not literally, but speaks your language. That has something in common with you. Because there's going to be times, man, when you're going to feel down. Somebody's going to help you deal with that new sort of loneliness and isolation that you're going to experience over here. If you think you was lonely over there, wait till you get over here. I can be in a room full of people over here and be lonely because nobody's speaking my language. You know, and then sometimes just to encourage each other. That's why I have the meet and greets, man. It's not to meet me. Hell, I'm nobody to meet. It's so we can meet each other. So we can have those great deep conversations and stuff. Just being around people who have so much in common with us. But you need that support group. Because most of us, that's how I learned how to find a place to stay over here, to live over here. And that's how I learned about the crime areas and stuff like that. It's sort of like a orientation. How you think I got my bank account over here? John helped me with that. Okay, so 6 is a routine, ladies and gentlemen. This is very important. Y'all take it for granted. Then why so many people end up going back home or going broke over here or something goes wrong because they think all they need is money? No, you need a whole lot more than money. That's the big lie. Oh, if I just have a pension, if I have a big savings, or if I have a recurring income over here, like a remote job or something, I'm going to be okay. Now, you got to plan for your money, but that's a lie. You need a whole lot more than money. And if you don't have the things I'm talking about, you eventually going to have to possess them. Are you either going to be miserable? Or are you going to go home? Are you going to go broke? But back to the support real quick before I leave. Because I know guys over here, they don't have the support. They're miserable as hell. All they do is hang around with their girlfriend all day. They won't come to the meet and greets when I invite them. They have no interaction with people who have things in common with them. And they're miserable. And they hold it in. And eventually they're going to go back home. I can see this guy going back home. Okay, but a routine, you know, what are you going to do when you get over here? This is what I want to ask you. What are you going to do with your life when you get over here? So if you got something you can do consistently, hello, I'm going to tell you. If you have something you can do consistently, it gives you some type of order in your life. You know, it helps you manage your time. Man, it's big over here because you're going to have big swaths of time. And you ain't going to know what to do with it. You got to fill that time up, man, with some type of routine. You know, it could be church. It could be volunteering. It could be karate lessons. A chess. They got a lot of chess clubs over here. The Masons. Them type of organizations. But you got to have a damn routine, man. You can't just be hanging around over here. It's not going to work. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's early. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. I love the Philippines in the morning. Now, where I just came from was Margarita Extension. That's where me and John used to live. You see the difference. When I first left my house, I live in Margarita Village Extension. That's Margarita Village. The difference is, where I live, it's not owned by the government. Each person owns the property, so there's no paved roads, there's no sidewalks, there's no street sign, there's no street lights, there's nothing. So the land where I live is probably going to be a whole lot cheaper than over in Margarita Village. But yeah, we got to have a routine, ladies and gentlemen. Are you going to run off the rails? See, a lot of this stuff is tangible, but there's some intangibles you're going to need. And the next one is the intangible you're going to need. Now, patience. Okay? Give yourself time to adapt to this new place. One of the biggest mistakes people make is they give up too soon. They stop before the miracle happens. That's what they taught me in recovery. People give up before the miracle happens. It's going to happen. You're going to wake up one day, it's all going to start making sense to you, if you want it to make sense. But you got to have patience here, man, of a saint, really. If nothing else, man, when I went back to the States, nothing really got on my nerves, because over here standing in lines, people counting your money 3 or 4 times. Everything is slow, everything's methodical. But give yourself some time to adapt, ladies and gentlemen. Give yourself some patience. It's not going to happen overnight. And that's what we want coming from the West. Everything happens so fast. Now, this is a good one right here. This next one is a positive mental attitude. Yeah. Which a lot of us don't have, But it's going to help you deal better with the stress and the adversity and the challenges that you're going to be confronted with when you move overseas. I mean, it's just going to happen. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. It helps you get through those tough times. You can always see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can always see the silver lining in the black clouds. But you have to foster a positive mental attitude. You're not going to make it over here, man. I'm sorry, you're just not going to make it. The last one I'm going to talk about, because there's so many, it's an open mind. See, if you got an open mind when you come over here, you're going to be able to appreciate the culture and the lifestyle and the new experiences that you're going to have. Otherwise, man, you're going to slam the door shut. You're going to bring those old prejudices with you. Just because people are different doesn't mean they're inferior. And the way things work in your country doesn't mean they're going to work in your new country. That's not the way they do things over here. So have an open mind. I got up with this on my mind. I actually went to bed with it on my mind to talk about this. And then W Secrets to Success, he sent me, I think it was Facebook or Instagram post about, people going back to their country, mainly the United States, broke. And, can't get back on their feet because they really didn't possess the skills and the aptitude that it takes to thrive overseas, to survive over here, man. We got to be better in some of these countries. If you're coming from the United States where everything is done for you, to a place like the Philippines where you got to do everything for yourself, you got to adapt, you got to adjust, you got to try to assimilate the best you can, you got to be better. But we think all we have to do is have money and that's going to be it. I'm sorry, that's not it. Money's not even the most important thing for life overseas, not to enjoy life. So thank y'all so much for stopping by. And I really appreciate it, man. Appreciate all the support over the years, man. if you're in America, if you're in the Philippines, wherever you are, find your heart to help somebody. I say that every single video because I mean it. You know, this channel is giving over 2 million pesos. I stopped counting at 2 million. I got receipts. I keep all my receipts, man. Believe it or not, that's just how I am as an insurance agent. Believe it or not, when I retired, I have to keep my records for 10 years before I can discard them. And it hasn't even been 7 years yet. It'll be 7 years in December. Find it in your heart to help somebody, because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. And don't do anything stupid. I want to let you know right now, if you don't listen to anything on this video, listen to this. You need at least a year or more to adjust long term to a new environment. It's not going to happen overnight, ladies and gentlemen. You got to have some patience. Do some pre-planning before you get here. At least, you know, find out as much as you can about the country, the culture, the language, whatever it is. The documentation. Do I need vaccinations to get in the country? Do I need a visa? You know, because you need that e-travel form to get in the Philippines now. You have to do that at least 72 hours before you get on your flight, leaving your country, not arriving in the Philippines. But yeah, it takes a while, guys, and that's the reason why a lot of people are failing. How you doing? But I looked at this from the other way. Like, why do people succeed? And it told me everything I knew, everything I wanted to know about why people end up going back home. Their dreams are deferred again. You know, slow down, man. We're in too much of a hurry. Okay? Join me on my members only live stream later. We're going to talk about this some more, because we want more success stories and less failures. You know, nobody wants to be broke in their home country, because they're going to attack you anyway for coming over here. Certainly when you go back home and you gave all your money away, you look like a damn fool, you know what's waiting for you. I told you so.
Boots on the ground, don't do nothing stupid. Give that man his flowers, a tribute through music. If I don't know nothing, I know one thing. When we help others,